Since 2021 is the start of a new decade, there's no better way to move on from the horrible year of year 2020 other than to make sure we have a plan for a good start to the decade. As James Clear puts it, my results have very little to do with the goals I set, but nearly everything to do with the systems I follow. However, I do believe that goals are still essential. They act as a compass towards the direction that we want to head in. But what is really more important is to make sure that we plan for the things that we have to do in order to reach our goals. Even better if these are things that we have to do on a regular basis because of the compounding effect. Did you know that if we improve by just 1% every single day, by the end of the year, we will have become 37 times better than we are today? So in this video, I'm going to share with you how I planned out goals and systems in order to have the highest chance to have a fulfilling 2021. Now before I start, I wanted to give a quick shout out to the tool I use on a daily basis to organize my life. And that is Notion. Notion is an all-in-one wiki/notebook/project management tool. And the good thing about Notion is it has a free plan for personal use with unlimited pages and content that you can sync across all your devices. I'm not going to go into too much details on the functionalities of Notion, but if you have used something like Apple Notes or Microsoft OneNote, you can kind of imagine Notion to be like those apps on steroids. Now, to start off the whole planning process, I thought through what would likely be key highlights of the year, and I then found a word that will wholesomely describe how I want the year to pan out. For 2021, I would describe it as beginnings, because this will be the year where a number of new things would happen, including the starting of this channel. This is a technique that I've seen described on a couple of different YouTube channels, and when I learned about it, I thought that, hey, it's going to be quite cool if I was able to review on the past decade with one-word summaries of how I approach each year. Next, I listed down the pillars of my life that were really important to me. You do not have to follow this exact list, but it is a good reference point. Some people also include pillars like spirituality, emotions, and bucket lists. Once I had these pillars listed, I started to think through how I intended for these pillars of my life to pan out by the end of the year. And those would be my goals, so I write them down under each pillar. Remember the common rules of goal setting. Your goals should be SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Next, I thought through how I intended to measure whether I've achieved my goals. If you have ever done something known as OKRs before, yes, this is exactly like OKRs. Some of the goals are kind of binary, meaning it either happened or it didn't. For example, one of my goals is to buy a new home in Q1 of 2021. So how I'll measure this is that I have secured purchase of a place that I love by March. In other cases, goals can be measured using certain metrics. An example is my goal to attain a lean physique. How I would measure that would be to reach 62 kg with a body fat percent of 15. Now, on to the most important part of the planning session: building systems. Again, an awesome quote from James Clear. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. For each goal, I think through what I have to do in order to reach it by the time frame that I've set. These could be one-off to-dos, like deciding on whether I want to buy a resale flat or an executive condominium. Or it could be something I have to do on a regular basis, such as looking through 99.co and Property Guru for an hour every single week to set up viewings. In which case, I will then set up recurring events on Google Calendar so that I've set time for it and also have a constant reminder. Also, in this template of mine, I break a year up into quarters and quarters into months and then months into weeks. Breaking the goals and plans down into various time frames allows me to focus on the most important objectives at any given point in time. And each time frame also acts as a checkpoint for me to do retrospectives on a regular basis. These retrospectives make for a good time for us to internalize the journey that we're on. Okay, thank you folks for staying with me to the end of this video. I want to end this off by saying that the most important thing to note is that other than having plans, we need to have the discipline to follow through on the execution. Admittedly, this is also one of the hardest parts for me, and starting this vlog is part of pushing myself to be accountable to my goals and my systems. I hope you found this video helpful. Subscribe to my channel to follow me on my journey to lead a better life in this little sunny island of ours. And I'll see you soon.